to Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Today, April 15th, 2012, marks the 100th anniversary of the sinking of the RMS Titanic. Imagine it's all over the news by this point, but just figured we'd stop and give some remembrance to what was a fateful event on that great ship's maiden voyage, where over 1,500 people lost their lives. And, of course, Kate Winslet and Leo DiCaprio lost a forever love, I guess, you know. Before we take a moment of silence, I'd like to review a beer. And what better beer to review for today than from Brasseurs RJ, Titanic. Titanic is a Belgian strong ale. I believe it's a dark strong. It says Titanic, a beer that flows. RJ Brewers is proud to resurface the Titanic, a grandiose beer on yeast in the fine tradition of the great Belgian beers. And while Belgian beers really had nothing to do with the British liner, it's a nice tribute and a very nice label on the side of that bottle to pay tribute to what was probably one of the biggest accidents in maritime history. You've probably seen the movies. I've been fascinated with the Titanic events ever since I was a kid, reading about them finding the wreck in National Geographic, all the sprawl of pictures, the first pictures from the bottom of the sea when they see what it actually looked like down there. As a kid, it was fascinating to see these pictures, and I didn't really quite fathom what it was all about. I just saw all the diagrams, but it was kind of neat to, you know, actually see these foldouts and these giant pictures of what happens to a ship after it sinks and lays there at the bottom of the ocean for so long. And it's always been such of a mystery, and seeing all these pictures surface and seeing all the films about it in the last like 20 years has been quite fascinating. So it's kind of something I wanted to pay a tribute to, and I'm not talking about the cheesy movie in 1998. It was actually a fairly good movie, but anyway, moving right along, let's take a look at this beer. It comes in at 7% ABV. It's a strong beer on yeast. Titanic, blue foil at the top. Heist Almighty brought this one back from Quebec. I think he bought this along with a whole bunch of other Brasseurs RJ beers in Quebec. Oh, shite. Let's give that a pour here. Captain Iceberg ahead. Maybe it's telling me to move along. So giving it a pour, it looks not quite as dark as like Chimay Bleu or oh, what's that one? Trois Pistoles from Unibrew. I've never had a Belgian double before, like a Trappist double, so that this actually looks like very much like the pictures I've seen. It's kind of like a Belgian, like almost like an Abbey-style beer or a Belgian-style beer, but a bit on the darker side. And it's to be understood. Maybe, perhaps it's a lot like Taconic Shoving, no, not Taconic Shoving, Taconic, or what's that other one? Duvel. Anyway, the head died really quick. So, I gotta say that I'm not really very fast at how much that sank down. It's had very big bubbles going down, and almost like a soda poppy fizziness. It's amazing that she actually bubbled up that much and then died off that quick. It was just here and then gone. Honey, that's what she said. Alright, so looking at the beer though, it's got this brownish appearance, almost like raisins or like some kind of prune juice or something. It looks unfiltered. Of course, it's bottled on yeast, and yeah, it's basically a brown with slight orangey hues, and almost no head to speak of, and even the little slick at the top is dying away. Yeah. Anyway, let's give it a sniff. So it smells like dark fruits. You get your raisins in there. There's a lot of raisins in there. Maybe hints of prune. Not so much, probably a little bit of plum, but not much. And a tangy, yeasty smell. And it's also got this brown sugar sweetness in there as well. It smells good. I gotta give it that. So. Oh, and it's got this almost like a cinnamon quality to it. Maybe a hint of like some kind of spices like some kind of spices like clove. Smells really nice. Let's give it a taste. The smell is carried mildly into the taste. You get this lingering flavors of raisin and plum and prune lingering in the back. Maybe a hint of red grape. A little bit of a cinnamon ting under the tongue, and a little bit of a yeasty tanginess to the very back. There's no real. There's a little bit of an earthy hop quality, but that's not a whole lot. Does it actually have an ingredients list? Nope. It's also quite light, like it's very mild. And it almost makes it seem a little bland. It still tastes good. It's really tasty. And it's got a yeasty dryness in the back as well, with a hint of lingering earthiness. It's not bad. Anyway, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit, and I'll come back with some thoughts. Be right back. And we're back with Titanic from Brasseurs RJ. What did I think about this one? Well, I can't think of any better beer that I could drink possibly in honor of the 100th anniversary of the sinking of the original Titanic. However, when it comes to this particular beer, I think my heart will go on. It's not a bad beer. Yeah, groan. It's not a bad beer. I like the taste of it, but it leaves some things to be desired. For one, it's kind of thin. Secondly, almost no head and barely any carbonation in it as well. Maybe that's because it fizzed over at the start. It also had no head retention though. It's not a bad tasting beer. It's got some nice decent complexities, but it's definitely not an authentic Belgian, and you can really taste that. You can tell that they were trying to be an authentic Belgian in the manufacturing of this beer, but it leaves a few things to be desired. But I'm not going to say that that's a huge slight against it, because it still is a very tasty, very well-made beer. I like it. I do like it. So I can't say that it's hit an iceberg, you know, it's sinking in the middle of the Atlantic, so, but it's definitely one that's sitting in a lifeboat. It's, whoa, I gotta stop with that stuff. It's not bad. I like it. If you do see it on the shelves, pick it up. But if you have a choice between this or like a Trappist double, or like Duvel or something like that, I would prefer that you just go out and buy that instead. This isn't going to be the best one sitting on the shelf, but if you like craft beer and you haven't tried this one in particular before, it's not bad. It's pretty good. As such, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. There's definitely some things I would have done better on this, but it's definitely an easy drinking beer and a joy to drink. It's you can't taste the alcohol in it for 7%, and it's got some decent qualities to it, where it's got like a decent complexity, even if it is a little thin, bland. I do recommend it, but it's not absolutely mind-blowing. Anyway, thank you for taking a moment with me. There's my little Titanic tribute. Remember that 100 years ago today, the 1,500 people gave their lives, or unsuspectingly, and will live on in our memories, because of just how big of a shock it was. I mean, a big ship like that, grandiose, biggest ship in the world, on its maiden voyage, with so many new high technology at the time, safety features, just all of a sudden disappearing in the middle of the Atlantic was just unreal. I've grown a new appreciation over the years for that, for how how it happened, you know. And it's nice to remember, and I imagine that they would appreciate it if they were here. But irregardless, cheers. And we will remember. Anyway, thanks for you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later. That was my review, Maxwell Starr beer review, a review of Titanic from the Brasseurs RJ of Montreal, Quebec. Thanks for watching. Bye.